et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, set to make her ring walk, faisant son entrée vers le ring. Elle est invaincue, elle a un jab d'enfer et une vraie passion pour la boxe féminine. She is undefeated, she has a tremendous jab and a true passion for women's boxing. Veuillez accueillir la terreur rimousquoise. Let's welcome the terror of Rimouski, Marie-Ève Albert!
Good afternoon, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very good. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you have a crazy journey. I was telling you offline how crazy it is to go amateur and pro at the same time. And you told me, I just love to fight.
That's right. Any kind of form, I'll do it.
As simple as this.
Bare knuckle might be next.
Oh, yeah.
I would do it.
Well, first of all, I told some people, oh, I will have Sarah with me. A lot asked me, can you ask her to tell us how to pronounce her family name? You will, because here in Quebec, we don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, but you know what? When I do say it now, I think you'll be able to do it because you have that tongue that rolls the GH. It's Haghighat Joo.
Haghighat Joo.
Perfect. Yeah.
So people will know now, right?
Yeah. and it means the truth. If anyone wants to know the meaning behind it, it means the truth. Yeah.
Beautiful name.
Thank you. Thanks.
It suits you. It suits you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are Ontario born?
No, I'm actually Vancouver, British Columbia.
Okay, yeah, you're Canadian born, 29 years old. Am I wrong? Yes, I'm good.
Yeah.
Huge journey so far as an amateur. How many fights do you have as an amateur so far?
I think right now I've hit 130.
Something like that. It's a lot. It's a very rich journey. A lot of things a lot of things happened in the amateur. So, and now you are a pro. You turned pro last year. A little bit less than 12 months ago, and you have 2 pro fights so far, and a third that is planned for soon, for this month, a little bit later this month. Tell me, it's very interesting because when you turned pro last year, you started with an 8-rounder. How come? Is that common? We don't see it, never. Almost. And it was allowed because you have a rich journey as an amateur, but also because your opponent had more than 10 fights as a pro, and she had 8 and 10 rounders already.
Yeah.
But were you the one who wanted this, or United got this idea and told you, oh, let's try?
No, it wasn't them. It was actually my coach, where he was like, you're ready. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever you say. And then closer to the time, I actually started panicking a bit. And I was like, what if I'm not ready? Like, has anyone ever done this before? Like, am I the only one? And he started pulling up names, and Asia, a lot of the Asians have done this before, and showing me things. And I was like, okay, like, feel better about it. I had been sparring like easy 10-2s, and he's like, Sarah, you're more than capable. And then after I did it, after the 8 rounds was over, I was like, that's it? The fight's over? Like, oh my gosh, are you sure we're done? Like, I was like, I wish we had more rounds. I wish I went 12 rounds, So it was a big difference from amateur to pro. Like, I just found the 2-minute rounds were a walk in the park. Like, I found I was able to control my opponent better. I just and then when he said, okay, your next fight, you're going to do 10, I'm like, okay, great. Like, I don't want to do anything less than 10. Like, I'm annoyed that my next fight is 8 rounds, because I'm like, the more the better. I want to be in there. right?
Yeah, you
So
want to go
yeah,
fast. They want to push you
yeah,
fast as a pro.
yeah,
At the
yeah,
same time, you are trying your luck with the amateurs in order to try to qualify for the Olympics.
yeah,
It's not an easy journey because it's a long journey to qualify.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not easy.
exactly.
You went to
Yeah,
the African Games, the
yeah,
qualifiers, not a long
yeah,
time ago.
yeah.
It went well, but you didn't make it. You lost in semifinals against a girl you beat already, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I beat her last year at the African Championships, and she just changed up her style. She ended up winning the tournament. So, I mean, hats off to her. I think December or beginning of the year, I'll have another amateur tournament where she'll be at. So, I hope I just get another chance to get in the ring with her, because I'll change up my game plan next time. So, she just got the better of me. That she knew how to fight me for the qualifier, and it burns, it stings, but I'll get it back. I have another qualifier in March, followed by, if I don't qualify for that one, in May. So there's another two chances, and I'm just going to give it my everything.
You will give your
Yeah,
everything and you will do pro and amateur at the same time. No problem
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Is it
yeah.
difficult to switch? Because it's different. For some people, pro boxing and amateur boxing are two different sports.
Oh, I agree. I 100% agree. Going from pro to amateur is very hard. Going from amateur tournament to now pro fight will be a lot easier on me, I find. So that's why I haven't fought pro since February, because I went from fighting that second pro fight straight into world championships, and that kind of screwed me over with, just taking my time more. You don't have time in amateur boxing. You need that urgency. So I just said, I'm going to take some time off, work on the qualifiers, and now from this last tournament, jumping back into pro will be a lot better for me.
And that's maybe
Yeah,
why some pros they haven't had such a big success in coming back to the amateurs. We saw
yeah,
it in the last Olympics. It was very
yeah,
fast for women like Maïva Madouche.
yeah, yeah,
We see that Estelle Mosley is trying her luck as well. Oshin
yeah,
Liu, they are pro, now, but like so the journey is not that easy to switch. What
yeah,
are the main differences for people like boxing fans who think it's
yeah.
going to be a walk in the park to switch? What are the main differences for you when you have to adapt?
Yeah, I mean, you're in a tournament setting, right? So you're fighting more than once. You don't know your opponent ahead of time. It's the luck of the draw. Once you get the draw, you have about 24 hours to be like, okay, this person fights like this. Let's get some footage
Mhm.
of them. And like, I just fought Morocco. She fought very different to what she did last year, right? So
True.
you don't have that time to quickly adapt. Like, this girl I'm fighting next is my pro fight. I've been able to study her a bit. Not that I do that much, but like, you get to work on exactly, their habit is this, you're going to work on exactly that.
The equipment
Amateur
is
tournament,
different
yeah,
as well. The weight of the gloves, the fact you have
equipment,
a helmet.
more rounds, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, the
yeah,
rounds are longer but less rounds and things like that.
yeah,
It's totally
yeah,
different, and the way to note as well from the judges is different, so you
yeah,
cannot focus on you have to showcase different
yeah,
things, I
yeah,
guess, as
yeah,
well. All
exactly,
right.
yeah. As a pro, I fight a lot lighter than I do as a amateur, so even that, like, I'm big per se for my weight class as a professional, so that helps me. I'm usually taller, I usually have the longer reach. In amateur boxing, a lot of the girls are my height or taller, they have a longer reach. So again, the styles are so different.
All
You're
are
dealing
different,
with,
and the weight management is important. That's a good point. You fight
yeah,
lighter as a pro, a
yeah,
little bit heavier as an amateur, probably
yeah,
because you have to make weight on a longer period
every
as
day,
well,
yeah,
and it would be difficult to cut and stay like 2 weeks long,
yeah,
many times per year at the lowest point, because you have to
yeah,
weigh in every single time you have a
every
fight.
day, yeah,
So if
exactly, yeah, so
as an example, an Olympic tournament can last 2 weeks. So it
yeah,
means
yeah,
mainly that 10 days, 2 weeks, you have to make weight, which is not the
yeah,
case for the pro. You have to weigh in
yeah,
one day, and the
yeah,
following day you can be
yeah.
10 pounds lighter, heavier if you want. I mean,
Exactly. You usually, I mean, Ontario, you fight or you weigh in the day you fight,
yeah.
but everywhere else it's day before, so you have more than 24 hours to rehydrate. Like, I'd be a giant in the ring by the time I get in there, right? So,
So for
um,
now, you fight as a super fly. Yeah, I think as a pro these
yep,
days. It's
yeah.
115, I think. Something that's what I saw. Is it am I accurate? Because I'm not sure.
So this next one I'll be fighting at 113 because it's day of, but
113.
it's
Okay.
considered flyweight because if it
Yeah.
was day before, I can make 108, right? So
Yeah,
that's why they
you're
could put
right.
me in
You're
that.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so okay, yeah, that's a big
yeah,
difference because it's
yeah.
Ontario.
Because it's
Because it's
Ontario.
Ontario.
But
If
say
you
if
were
it was anywhere else in Canada, I'd be fighting at 108 and they would put me in that
like Kim
weight
Clavel
division.
and you're
Yeah.
fighting as a pro, next opponent of Kim Clavel, you will face
Yeah.
Esmeralda Gaona Sagajon,
Yeah.
October 21st in Pickering.
Yeah.
What do you expect from that fight? It's an 8-rounder, as you said before.
Yeah.
What do you want to what can we expect from you? What do you want to showcase maybe that you couldn't maybe showcase before, and you want to
Yeah.
show your fans you're able to do?
Once again, obviously that technical ability, the like I have in the last two fights, my ringmanship, moving around in the ring, whereas most people don't use the full ring and my angles. But I want to be able to go to the body more. I want to set it up where I go to the body more because I don't think a lot of females do that. And one of my favorite things to do, even in amateur boxing, is attacking the body. So I'd like to be able to do that with this next opponent. When they're shorter, it's a little bit tougher to get there, but as long as I slow things down, I know I'll be able to do that.
I'm coming back to this weight management thing. Is it hard for you to cut weight because like you're cutting weight now, as you said, you are
Yeah.
108 naturally for as a pro, I mean. But like in the amateurs, you have to be consistent on the weight. That's a little bit different. What do you have to adapt in your daily routine in order to be able to cut versus to be consistent?
So from my last tournament, I haven't gained much weight. So I had been weighing in at 118, 119. So this next fight, I'll be at 113 pounds. So
Yeah.
about 5, 6 pound weight cut. For professional fighting, I usually do the water load. It works like a charm. So a week out, I can lose literally 10 pounds from just water loading. So not much will change right now. Thanksgiving dinner is coming up this weekend. I'll be enjoying myself. We
No
still have lots of
problem.
time, so there's no problems. No, no.
So it
So,
means you could be able to do 105 as well, probably, if you wanted
but
to be more
yeah,
aggressive on your weight
yeah.
cut.
And I would be a really, really big 105, right? So, if I was to get down to that weight, my natural walking around weight, I would have to bring down a bit. So, walking around 116, 117 to be able to make 105, which I know I can do. So,
Is it
right now,
something you target? I mean, I know you target the Olympic as a priority
yeah,
short term, maybe for
yeah,
the next 12 months. The
yeah,
Olympics are next summer, I think. So you will have to focus a lot on trying to qualify and so on. This is a
yeah.
dream. But as a pro, what are your targets? What do you expect?
Yeah, the 105, 108 is what my coach says is best for me right now. And I want to be able to go after anyone who has the belts, the main belts, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF. Like, I want to go and fight those top contenders. So, and I think I should be able to right now. I think I can fight for a world title right now. I'd be confident that I could go in there and not just contend, but win. So I'd love to be able to do that by next year. Late next year, I should be able to get a world title shot. 100%.
Yeah, you could have a shot for a minor title very soon.
Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
And I was trying to for this next fight, but we weren't able to negotiate or anything. But
The
hopefully in
fact
the
that the fact
new
that
year.
you have already a 10 rounder in the pocket and
Yeah.
two 8 rounders, it
Yeah.
opens doors for many title fights. Some associations sometimes are not very open-minded if you don't have an 8 rounder at least or a 10 rounder. It's done since the beginning for you. So you're already you can already
Exactly.
qualify from that criteria at least.
Yeah, and I didn't think there was a need to, start with 4 and 6 and 8. Especially because with that debut having 8 and it being so easy, like I just didn't feel the need to go so slow. I
You're
want to move up
lucky
the
to be in
ranks fast.
Ontario. In Quebec, they would have forced you to start with 4 and have a couple of 4 and then 6. So
Yeah,
this is a little bit stiff from
yeah,
that perspective here. In
right.
Ontario, it's more flexible if you have the experience. Probably they
And if
allowed it because you have the experience.
experience and just, knowing the commissioner, knowing me, he's seen me spar,
They know.
and they had already approved me well before I had even thought of turning professional, where they were like, Sarah, anytime you want 6 to 8 rounds starting out, like you can do that right away.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
You are very international. Okay, you're Canadian born. We said that.
Yeah.
You are Sierra Leonean person.
Yeah.
Your husband and coach is Irish, right?
Yeah.
What passport do you use?
Canadian to travel.
Do you have
And
many
then when
ones?
I just have the Irish, or sorry, not Irish. I tried to get the Irish during COVID. There was so much backlog that I wasn't able to. But right now I travel with my Canadian, and then for my tournaments, I use Sierra Leone. Now, I was on the Canadian team for many years, and
Yes.
then there was a lot of politics, as there is with many sports. And,
We've heard about the politics of
yeah, you guys
boxing
all know.
Canada.
Yeah. Boxing Canada, boxing, or you know what? It's worldwide with the politics.
It's worldwide,
It's not just,
even with the IBA, IBA, it was
100%.
it's complicated. We have it's a rough moment for boxing in general. I think amateur boxing in many associations and groups. So you were in the Canadian team, as you said. At a certain point, you decided to switch for Sierra Leone. Why did you decide that?
Well, I first went to Ireland and I won the nationals twice there.
I remember this. It was not long time ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2019, and then COVID happened, and I went to the next one during COVID, 2021. So then I applied for the Irish passport, and it just, doctors, nurses, they weren't even able to get it. So they just told me it's going to take a few years. And I was like, I don't have a few years. I want to fight right now. Yeah. So I was like, okay, who can I fight for next? Iranian, sure, I'm Persian, but there is no female boxing in Iran.
It's a little bit complicated. Yes.
Yeah, they don't allow women to fight. So then I was like, okay, what else? Now, looking down the family tree, I had a grandparent that was born in Sierra Leone. She was a citizen of Sierra Leone. Okay, can I apply for that passport? And I could. So I contacted the federation. They looked into it, and that's how I got that passport. Went there. I won the nationals there, and then I've been to a couple of the local tournaments in Sierra Leone, and then now they have me fighting on their team.
I saw on your Instagram a video where Sierra Leonean people, they are crazy about you when you go down from the ring, and they are celebrating with you a win. It's very intense, way more intense than what we are accustomed to here in Canada. They are very intense. They seem very proud. Was it easy when you started there? Were you welcomed in a positive way, or they were like, who's this girl? Why is she here?
No, they are so supportive. And it was so neat at that tournament where whether you won or lost, they were just so proud of you to just be there. They just, think so highly of you, working so hard. Like they didn't care it was win or lost, whatever. No, as soon as I entered the airport, everyone already knew my name. My posters were everywhere. It was like I was a little celebrity in Freetown, Sierra Leone. It was really, really neat. And it's just incredible to see that kind of support.
But that's fun. That's a lot of fun. The experience is different. It gives you another side, a little bit like the pros. The pros are a little bit welcome like that.
Yeah. But you don't see that in Canada. They're so reserved and conservative. But these guys, they got right up on the stage, as you saw.
They take you and they carry you everywhere. That's the party.
It was so, and I did not expect that at all. So I was like, oh my God, it makes it that much better and that much more motivating when I see they're just so proud of you up there, right? It's just I'm doing it for them, and it was really cool.
Talk to me a little bit about you. Why did you start boxing? Why do you love that sport? You told me I love to fight, but why? Where does it come from?
So I competed in a lot of school sports growing up, a lot of team sports, basketball, volleyball, a lot of track sports. Basketball was my main one. I absolutely loved it, died for it. And it was in my grade 11 year where the coach kind of changed over, and she was like, I'm going to bench you this year and give the juniors a chance. And I was like, oh my God, I am not sitting on the bench for the next year. I'm so competitive that I went home that day and cried my eyes out, and I was like, this is it. I'm done basketball. What am I going to do now? How am I going to live? being a complete drama queen. And my dad was like, my parents were like, why don't you take up boxing? Like, your brother's at a boxing gym right now. Why don't you, do that? And I was like, I don't want to get punched in the face. I don't want to break my nose. Like, hell
This
no.
is the thing I hear often,
Yeah.
And why did you
But
change your mind?
well, and then they were like, okay, don't do it as a sport. Just go do the training, do the workout.
Training.
And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. This is something I can bond with my brother with. Sure, I'll do it. And so I started, and I started picking up the skipping really well, picking up the movements really well. And within like 3 to 6 months, my coach at the time,
It was quite a natural match for you.
yeah, especially with the basketball, like the footwork really helped me.
Yes.
And he was like, you're ready to spar. And I was like, okay, didn't think anything of it. And actually, first day ever sparring, I'll never forget it. I landed a clean right hand on the girl I was sparring, and she literally went to town on me and put me out. Like, I blacked out. She knocked me the hell out. I was just laying on the ropes. And my parents were like, oh my God, this is it for Sarah. Like, she is done boxing forever. Sure enough, the next day I went back to the boxing gym, and obviously I wasn't allowed to spar because I had a concussion, but got back into it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let that be the determining factor that I stop boxing.
It's crazy how sparring has a big impact, because I am not a boxer, but I do spar sometimes. And the first time I was totally afraid, not of being punched, I was afraid of punching, So everyone has a different story of related to the first sparring, but it's often a game changer, because once you've overpassed the first sparring, you understand a lot of things about boxing.
Yeah. I mean, after she knocked me out, that night I knew I was concussed because I went home, threw up, like it was bad. I was 16 years of age, and that at that moment it's either fight or flight. Like, either you continue or that's it. That's the end of it. It scares you, and that's what my parents thought. That's what everyone thought, and I was like, no. Like, if anything, it just got me like more motivated to get back into the gym and eventually get her back, which a few years down the line I managed to get her back.
Because you knew the worst at the beginning, and you said, okay, if this is the worst, I can cope with it. I will deal with it. I will do better.
Exactly. And then there was a point where my coach was like, okay, you're ready for your first fight now. So entered into the youth division at a BC Golden Gloves or something, and back then it was point system. So I won 40-12. So the fight should have even gotten stopped, like with that big of a gap. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. The next day, he entered me into the senior division as a 16-year-old, and I beat a 24-year-old. And it was like, oh my God, just getting that hand raised. I was like, and all that satisfaction was on me. It wasn't relying on my team, nothing. It was like, oh my God, I'm getting all the glory right now. My hand is getting raised. Like,
it's a crazy sport because it's individual. You are the only alone in the ring. You have also a team, but the team is working for you only. I mean, it's a dedicated team around you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like, with basketball, if someone else wasn't training and doing well, like the whole team comes down. This, like, it's just me. I'm the one that ends up losing. Nobody else I could blame, really. So
you cannot blame anyone. You are accountable for everything. Your corner is also accountable of protecting you. And
exactly.
That's mainly it. And what do you think about Amanda Serrano doing 3-minute rounds soon? She will have a 12-rounder, 3-minute rounds. You mentioned a little bit earlier than when you started as a pro, when you turned pro, you felt it was a walk in the park to survive 2-minute rounds. It was like, okay, I can do it quite easily. The stamina is there. I mean, to do it.
I mean, I hope she's getting paid really well for this 3-minute rounds, because if you're taking more of a beating, then you better be getting paid, because at the end of the day, that's what pro boxing is. It's about money. The training, if I was to ever do 3-minute rounds as a professional, the training would be drastically different. Like, it would be a lot hard. Like, when I practice 6 threes, I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel it. So I wouldn't be able to do 10 threes right off the bat. I would probably have to start with 6 threes, then 8, then 10.
Because in the amateur, you are customized to do less rounds, but longer rounds. So you have to graduate a little bit.
Yeah. So if it was 3-minute rounds for women, I would have never done 8 right off the bat. I would have started with, I could have done 6. I wouldn't start with 4 ever. I wouldn't want to.
But it's a big step. You mean it's doing 10, 8, 2-minute rounds, it's fine. But going through the third minute has a huge impact on the performance.
Yeah, huge, huge. It just like the anaerobic system and just it's all so different, right? So, yeah, I hope she's getting paid well. You know, there was talks of me doing 8 threes for this fight, and I was like, what am I gaining out of it?
It
You know,
has to be well paid.
nothing.
I
It
agree.
has
It
to
has
be
to be
paid.
well paid. Women are not
Yeah,
super well paid as in the pros right now. Some are. It has
yeah,
improved, but
yeah,
we are far from having some kind of equity in this,
yeah,
of
yeah.
equality. And some people will say, "Oh, but like you cannot have the same amount of money." But no, but you're still risking the same
A lot. Yeah, exactly,
because
exactly.
it's a
And
dangerous sport. If it's not
yeah,
done well, it can be
yeah.
dangerous. You don't play boxing.
And even I was like, okay, is there a title on the line, or like, what am I gaining doing 8 3-minute rounds? And it's like history in Ontario. And it's like, I don't care to make history in Ontario. I want to make history in the world. So, no, thank you. I'll stick with 8 2s.
For the moment, at least. And
Yeah,
if the payday is coming, and if the
yeah,
glory is coming with this
yeah,
for women, it could open doors. I'm very
exactly.
happy for Amanda Serrano though, because she wanted this. And I
Yeah,
think Daniela Ramos is probably very well paid as well as
yeah.
MVP is paying
Oh
very
yeah.
well. They are the
I think
ones,
they're the
the
best.
best.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. For a woman, especially, like, look what they've done with Amanda Serrano. Like, that
Yeah.
would be a dream to,
Yeah,
yeah,
because I
keep
think Amanda
in the
Serrano, I think she fought for titles for like $12,000 or
exactly,
$20,000 before.
exactly.
Now she's a
Yeah,
millionaire. So
exactly. Yeah,
the
they're
difference
taking
is
good care of her.
important. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she
About your
earned it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
she fought everyone.
About your sport, what is the best part of it and what is the most annoying part? Because being a boxer, it looks very cool. It looks very you go, you're in the ring, you fight and then you're done as a pro, but as an amateur it's different as well. The routine is very heavy. It's a
Oh
difficult
yeah,
sport.
yeah.
What's the best part? What do you enjoy the most? And what you if you want the choice
Dislike
like of
most.
keeping something,
Yeah.
oh, I would change something in my sport. I would change this. What would you change?
Um, as for training, I love, 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 love sparring. That's probably my favorite. I
It's
think a
fun.
lot of people can say that. Sparring and pad work are my favorite. And then I hate warming up. I hate having to. I just want to get in the ring. I don't care to warm up. I don't care to shadow box or skip or anything. I do. I force myself, but that's the hardest. I think when you come into the gym and you're just like, I have to do a 20-minute warm up before I jump in the ring. Really?
It's
Like,
important
dang
though.
it. It
It's
is
super important. Cool
frustrating.
down, warm up, both are very
Yeah,
important. But like, I
yeah.
know it's annoying. You're right.
It's so frustrating.
A lot of people they tell me I don't like to go running. A
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. I love running. I do love running.
You're
Yeah,
lucky.
but
I don't. I don't.
yeah, but obviously cutting weight is never fun, but like it's not like I hate it. I actually kind of enjoy the torture, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it's not so fun. I was checking Marie-Pierre Houle. She's cutting weight right now because she's going down, and I think she has been eating broccoli with mustard on it for about 1 month. I'm like, oh
Oh
my
man.
gosh, what is that? But
You know,
mustard is 0 calories.
yeah,
She's telling me.
yeah, yeah. I actually don't ever cut my food too much. I just sweat it out more. The water load I find helps so
But
much.
you're still young. Maybe when you
Yeah.
get older, the
Yeah.
metabolism will be slower a bit, and it
100%.
will be more complicated a bit to
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
We never
Yeah.
know. Sometimes
Oh
not.
yeah. Yeah. For
I
sure. When I
wish
was,
you it stays like that because
I
like
know, I know. It has gotten harder. Like since I was 17, I've been 16, 17 boxing. It's been over 12 years now. Used to be a lot easier. Definitely. Yeah.
you started young. When you're a teenager, you start boxing, you start competing. What
Yeah.
are the sacrifices that comes with that? Because it's
A
a
lot.
lot, I think. Yeah.
I mean, being 16, 17, there's parties, there's, birthdays that you have to miss. Even your own birthday, you have to, be in a gym for. The amount of birthdays I've been, either in the gym training
You
or
have
I'm
to
at
be
a tournament.
consistent all the time.
Exactly. Say no to your friends quite a bit. I don't drink. I don't like to drink, but in general, like, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, like I want to dabble in that. I want to. I didn't. I never
And
did.
often they don't understand. They are young as well, and they don't understand the
Yeah.
sacrifice. They don't
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
cannot just see you, envision you
Yeah.
like trying to qualify for the Olympics when you're
Yeah.
16, or
Yeah.
trying to become a world champion or anything
Yeah.
like that. You're just a friend who's training in the gym and fighting during weekends.
Yeah, exactly. I had done 2 years of my undergrad and university. I had to put that on hold. I had to put work on hold. I've had to put so much on hold, and it's all worth it, but it is a sacrifice at the end of the day. It's like, oh,
For
I
sure.
could have done this, but unboxing, but that's okay. That's what I've chosen.
But
But
no regret, no regret.
no regrets, no
So
regrets.
far, it pays off.
Yeah, a
In
lot of
the game,
friendships,
yeah, and
lose friends, and
your friends, you may have probably friends in the game as well. Now
exactly.
they
That's what you have to
understand
stick
you,
with.
they feel what you feel,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
who do you train with usually?
One of my best friends is Chantel Hartman. She used to be a boxer as well. She went off and had twins, and I love babysitting them. Carolyn Redmond is one of my really, really, really good friends for over 10 years
Very
as
good,
well.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Caroline is very good as well.
sweetheart. Yeah, yeah. I see them probably 4 or 5 times a week, whether it's in the gym or at a coffee shop, or so they're definitely by far my best friends. And then my coach is my husband, is my best friend. He's yeah, so
Is it difficult to stop talking about boxing at home?
yes, it's difficult to separate the two. Like the amount of fights we have at home, it's literally because I hate my coach in that moment. And it's like I can't
Yeah.
tell my husband about my coach because it's the same person.
And
So,
also, he's not dedicated only to you. He has other boxers.
yeah,
He
yeah,
travels. He is
yeah.
very involved. Are you
Yeah.
interested in working corners as well with him when you can? Or
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, and I have. I've been in Ryan Rizicki's corner many times, Carolyn Redmond's
because it's
corner.
different, it gives you another perspective of your own sport. When you're
Yeah,
in the ring,
yeah,
you live the moment in real time. When
yeah,
in the corner, you need to take care of the boxer and protect the boxer as well. It's not
yeah,
only about strategy, it's about protection, being safe.
yeah,
It
yeah.
gives you another perspective of why a fight can be stopped, as an
Oh,
example, and things like
absolutely.
that.
And it's a hard job. Coaches have hard jobs. I do assist a lot and I try to help as much as I can when Steve's not around. I take over the amateurs myself. There's been a lot of club shows. I've cornered them, but much respect to all coaches out there. It is a tough, tough, tough job. And it takes a lot of patience. And I don't know how they do it. Like, I love coaching, but I like fighting more.
Yeah, for now it's
Yeah,
a good choice because you're a
yeah,
fighter, but you
yeah,
have a future as well, maybe in the corner after,
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
your love of boxing can continue, that it won't stop at a
yeah.
certain point. Last question for you: who do you admire in the game these days? Who inspires you? Can be male, female boxer, coaches, people of the game.
Um, right now, I look up to a lot of amateur boxers that I
Mhm.
love. Like, I love their style. I just love how they train, everything about them. One of them is Brazilian girl, 60 kilo, Beatrice Ferreira. She's,
Amazing, Bia,
I
right?
love
She's
her. I
great.
love her. Yeah,
She
such a
is
nice person
amazing.
too.
I just
Yeah,
love her as well. She's my
yeah,
favorite.
yeah,
Let's be
yeah,
honest. As a
yeah.
pro, I think she is a
Oh, she's
part
gonna
of the
be so good.
future of the sport a little bit, with girls like you, like Caroline Dubois, that kind of girls. They had an amateur career and now they are doing pro and amateur at the same time.
Yeah,
Bia
yeah,
is
and her
beautiful.
style is just, oh, incredible. If I can adapt any style, I like aspire to be her.
And beautiful personality as well.
Such a good
She's
person. Yeah,
fun and
yeah,
nice, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she has
She's
everything for her. I
yeah,
agree with your choice. I would choose the one, this one as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. So there's been a couple times she sent me messages on Instagram, and I get so like giddy and excited, like, oh my god, she just spoke to me. I'm so honored.
Yeah,
Like she's
that's the same. I am
yeah,
trying to learn Brazilian just to interview her, to learn
yeah,
Portuguese. I
yeah.
have on Duolingo every day to try to improve. So one day I can
That's
interview
awesome.
her.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
goal, life goal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's incredible. Yeah. So
I like her. What do you think about the rematch between Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron? Repair or repeat?
That's gonna be a repeat, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I think Katie Taylor, she's done so much in the sport for us, and it's just like I think as hard as it is for her to just like step away, I know like I can't even imagine stepping away any day soon. She needs to. I really think that it's just not the right weight class for her.
Yeah.
I think time's up. And I
And
love Katie.
what do you think about the rematch of Katie Taylor with Amanda Serrano now? Repair or repeat again?
I think she'd do better in that one, only because I think she is the stronger fighter, the smarter fighter. I didn't even think that last fight was that close watching it back. I really thought Katie had it quite comfortably. There was 1 round, 2 rounds that were kind of close. So what? It's boxing, people get hit. And she made it entertaining. But I think that one is a bit better, but I don't like the Chantel Cameron Katie Taylor fight at all. I wish it wouldn't happen.
What do you want me to wish you for the next year?
Oh, a world title shot as a professional boxer and qualifying for the Olympics. Yeah.
So I wish you that.
Thank you.
I wish you that, and to enjoy your life. That's important. Thank you so much for your time. It was very appreciated. When are you fighting next? October 21st in Pickering
Pickering
Casino?
Casino. That's right. Yeah.
Very, very good fight as an 8-rounder, as something that will bring you to get a little bit more experience again
Closer
as
to
a
that
pro.
world title shot. Yeah.
Then when is your next shot as at an Olympic qualifier?
That'll be in March of 2024 and in Italy. So I've never been there. So let's go.
Let's go. Let's travel. Travel keeps us young.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you very
so much for having me. I really
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
And we
you.
will follow your journey, no problem. Thank
Thanks
you
so
very
much.
much.
Appreciate it, Maria. Bye.
Bye.